Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to some updates from KINGMAKERS. Now I have seen the first trailer of this and it's on this channel as well. So if it's been recommended to you, feel free to watch it. And anyways, let's just go through some updates here. Now if I'm correct on this is the first trailer I have reacted to. And that's just a repeat. There's 2 Apache choppers. And let's see what's interesting. Yes, let's go with this one. 10 seconds, I know it's short. Now, they say there is co-op. Name one thing that's more thrilling than dragging 3 friends into a brand new game unleashing absolute chaos. So there's some co-op action here. So that's pretty interesting. And let's just see here. Here's some more views. Okay, so yeah, we have some different vehicles going through. A Cobra-esque type and a tank, a motorcycle, and the pickup truck. And there's some destruction as well. So if you look at this building a tank drives through. So that's pretty cool as well. I wonder how big this destruction scaling is going to be. Hopefully it's more than just 1 or 2 buildings or specific buildings. I need it to be every building possible, and probably like trees as well. If trees are able to be destroyed, that's about it for the destruction that can happen in this game. Like I don't think there's going to be anything else than buildings and trees in medieval times. Maybe some bridges, but how? Yeah, I don't care about the bridges, so yeah, it would be pretty cool to have this. And it's cool to see some different vehicles as well. It looks like a Cobra, but it's like a 1970s, 60s vehicle. Okay, here we have some Tom Clancy glasses, night vision or something. There's a military vehicle with a gun on top. And here's some more view on the building.
But why leave your base at all when you can build walls around it instead? AI soldiers can navigate around your dynamically placed walls and move through the exits and entrances you create. They can also traverse this milestone's giant castle, which is now fully made from modular, completely destructible building parts.
Look at that.
Structures. In the next milestone, we plan to feature a fleshed-out castle, complete with props, set dressing, and enhanced lighting.
Now this looks pretty good. It's like Age of Empires building walls and stuff, and then literally it's destructible. And like you say, see they shot it, and it's to scale. It's like very big. It's not like it's a small wall like in Age of Empires. It's really to scale here. And then there's the destructibility. And they're talking about a fleshed out castle with props and stuff inside. I wonder, yeah, like the character is walking. So you're telling me from the outside it's destructible, and from the inside you can walk inside this building and walls and stuff. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, so combat parries and execution finishers.
A slew of new ways to fight, such as the improved parry executions, pulled off with a well-timed tap of the control key. They're no longer one-hit kills either, as the larger enemies can be parried with less lethal results. But if you're aggressive enough, you can break an officer's poise meter with successive shots. Once an officer is poise broken and down on his knees, you can perform a devastating execution, either from the front or from behind. Or
okay.
Equip the new taser weapon, you can take him alive.
Another thing I'm wondering is, even though you have modern weapons, it would be cool to like being able to grab enemies' weapons as well. So that would be something I wonder if you can do. So that would be pretty cool to be able to grab enemies' weapons and costumes and stuff like that. So that would be a good thing. So let's just see here. Defense or offense? Which one do you prioritize? Build a shield mechanic in Kingmakers.
Overshield now becomes visible. You should also watch out for the new polearm and warhammer officers. Their devastating attacks will not only send you flying, but their comrades as well. As you can see, the player's overshield now becomes visible when he takes a hit, and completely shatters when brought to zero. But your overshield isn't just for protection. By holding the control key, you can sacrifice your shield in order to enter a shield-cracked state, where your attacks become more powerful. When you initiate a shield crack, a portion of your overshield will go offline. You'll need to make kills to bring it back online.
Okay, that's interesting. So you say you prioritize defense or offense. That's something that is usable in desperate situations. Okay, outnumbered soldier from the future, you certainly can't forget about equipping your favorite throwables. Okay, so there's throwables in the game.
Like the sticky grenades, which attach to both buildings and enemies. So try not to throw one.
Going GTA style here. Sticky bombs. Look at that. I love the destructibility in this game. What I will say is the animations aren't like the best.
System, which takes the place of the computationally expensive and crash-prone built-in Unreal system. Now the new Renown attack.
Now, what I would say is the animations, like if you see here, is not the best. But considering that we have thousands of enemies and destructibility, I can expect the characters to not have perfect animations, because detailed animations have a lot more performance impact, and it doesn't look too bad. It's still good. It's not like it's absolutely the worst thing ever. So I'm not complaining about that. I'm just stating that the animations do look a little bit lower quality than like today's high-end games. But I'm not knocking it down, because I know performance impacts on more in-depth animation would be crazy, especially with the amount of units in game. So that's a thing. Bows and Expo lovers, this one for you. Okay. So we have different weapons.
Maybe you prefer to try out one of our new arrow-based weapons, like the quick-fire warbow or the magazine-fed auto crossbow. These weapons, unlike your firearms, will be stopped by wooden shields, but they provide a fun and satisfying.
That's pretty cool.
To our arsenal, allowing us to widen the spectrum of weapon progression over the course of the campaign.
What I do think this bow and stuff should help with is, so if you're in the game and there's an army or something and they haven't noticed you, and you shoot this, it should be easy to hide. Because if you use modern weapons, everybody's going to hear it. So that's if that's the way it's going to act, it's a pretty useful item to have, and it's still cool just to have the choice to use Expo. And let's see, now you can loot Goblin and Time Traveling Hero. Okay, now you can be a loot Goblin. So let's check out what loot we have here.
Now find all kinds of treasures around the map, mostly hidden in enemy buildings. Looting and exploration are now a significant part of the game. You'll find gold, precious gems, and holy relics to unlock permanent upgrades in our planned skill trees. Likewise, you can find copper, silver, wood, stone, iron, and more to aid your settlement.
There's literally an age thing. That's so cool. So it's literally Age of Empires, but blending it with modern weapons, third-person camera, shooting camera, and to scale as well. So this is going to be something epic.
With these treasures, you can equip weapons from your inventory in our new loadout menu. Here, you'll equip everything from weapons to renowned special attacks to tactical grenades.
Just love the destructibility.
You can now find all kinds of...
Okay, so next is like GTA, but in the 1400s. We're back with some more behind-the-scenes development.
From any angle, and even while it's moving. Once inside, you'll have full access to your arsenal. The car's physics and visuals still need a bit of tuning, but it's already shaping up to be one of the best vehicle implementations we've seen in a third-person game. You can even drive your motorcycle to it, which has also been improved. You can now dismount your motorcycle, even at full speeds, and do a fun little roll when you hit the ground.
What I would say is, what I think the first issue I have with this is the camera needs to be able to, you need to be able to choose if you want it to be closer or further away, because if it's further away it's easier to shoot enemies. That's especially something I usually do in Grand Theft Auto 5, is I pick the furthest away camera to shoot enemies easier. So that's one thing. And the other thing, like you said, is physics.
Transition into and out of the convertible from any angle, and even while it's moving. Once inside, you'll have full access to your arsenal. The car's physics and visuals still need a bit of tuning.
Physics for me, like how you drive, is the most important. I do think it needs to be a blend between like GTA 4 and 5. Like it needs to be sticky on the ground, but since this is gravel and grass, it needs to have a heavier. It doesn't. For instance, it's not sticking enough on the ground, especially when in grass and gravel and stuff. Because, like for instance, when you play GTA 5 and you move, yes, you can spin out and stuff on the ground, but what needs to be done here is, let's just wait a second. There's no trials and dust behind the car, as well as what they need to do is have the car more on the heavy side, like it will need to tilt a little bit, as well as the car needs to stick a little bit better on the ground, and it doesn't need this sliding effect so easily. Because yeah, that's something important, the physics on that. I hope they do a lot of work on that, but it's still pretty cool. I'm not knocking it up, because the main focus of this game is going to be the enemies and your war with the enemies. So I'm not saying it needs to be perfect or anything, but it would be great to have better physics on the vehicles. That's all I'm saying. Like what I would recommend for the GTA developers, or for the developers of KINGMAKERS, is to look at GTA 5 and 4 and really just go through how their driving physics work. I'm not saying to copy it exactly. What I'm saying is just see what benefit it has when driving with vehicles like that. For instance, if you can drive, the controls needs to be perfect, because what I really hate is when you're out of control of your car. You need to be able to control your car at all times. That's one functionality, for instance. You need to be able to control the vehicle as much as possible. Okay, so welcome to 480. Prepare yourself. Okay, 1 million Steam wishlists. That's not bad. This game deserves it for what it has done already. Like, this is crazy. Yeah, there's destruction. I think that's about that. There's not a lot more news when it comes to this. So we'll wait and see for a release date then. Because I'm really into this game. And I also wonder what PC specs it will have, and let's just see if there's anything on the Steam page related to PC specs. So at this point, the only thing they're requiring is a 64-bit processor, which is literally any other game today, and for probably the last 10 years, as well as Windows 10. So what I'm wondering with the performance, this is going to be made in Unreal Engine, if I'm correct. This is an Unreal Engine. And so if they're using Unreal Engine like 5 or something, at least there won't be a requirement for AVX2. So AVX2 a thing for like CPUs back in 2013. They started getting AVX2, so it will probably run on older CPUs than that. However, your performance may vary because with a lot of units on screen, I do think the CPU is going to be pinned here because units has a lot of impact on how many things you can do with an old CPU. So the multi-core enhancement, GPU wise, you probably will get away with like a GTX 1070, 1080, or like a RTX 2060, 2070, or a 3060. So nothing big there. It's just the CPU requirements will be up there. And another thing I've seen with other game, I think it's called like Epic Battle Simulator or something like that. As because of all the textures and units in that game, the RAM usage also goes up heavily. So this probably would be like 16 gigabytes RAM required, and then 32 recommended. In my opinion, I'm not saying it's going to be that, but in my opinion, it should be around there. So that's what you're looking at, in my opinion. I'm not saying this is going to be accurate or anything. I'm just guessing it based on other Unreal Engine games I've seen and other games with a similar vibe to it, like Epic Battle Simulator. So we'll see what happens here, and the release date is Q1 2025, so it's in a few months. Hopefully it's not delayed, but this is very exciting. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And tell me if there's anything else you want in this game. If there's anything interesting you saw that I didn't see. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.